take a couple of weeks off because I wanted to try to get away from negative things, but it keeps following me wherever I go. So apparently the debt ceiling, the national debt ceiling has reached its max, or it's about to reach its max. They just wasted $1.7 trillion because they try to rush through a bill right at the end of the year, and it was full with a bunch of crap that did nothing for America. All these people do, all these politicians do, and I don't care if they're on the right or the left. There's some that are good on the right, but all they do is work for themselves. They don't work for us. I don't give a damn about Ukraine. I don't care if Russia conquers Ukraine, Poland, Germany, all of Europe. I don't give a damn. Why are we worried about NATO? Screw NATO. We need to worry about our own continent. Our own continent. And the continent that is attached to our continent. That's what we should be worrying about. We're doing nothing about the cartels. We're doing nothing about the drugs flowing in here. It makes way more logical and logistic sense to have jobs manufacturing things for America, in America, and in South America and Central America. Not in China. That's why people try to come here illegally, because there's jobs here and there's no jobs where they're at. The Federal Reserve needs to be abolished. The IRS needs to be abolished. The FBI, the CIA, the DHS, all of them. They don't work for the American people. You know, people are like, why doesn't people want to work anymore? Well, here's some of the reason right here. When we had those lockdowns that lasted way too long, and now we're having to deal with mass inflation because of that, what it did was it conditioned people to not want to work anymore. That's what it did. That was a part of the strategy. Not only that, you got people like me who are I make $18 an hour. I started out last March in my job making $18 an hour. They hired me for one thing to do. They switched me to something else, a different department. I killed it in that department. Now I know how to powder coat. I'm still making $18 an hour. Dealing with this hyperinflation that we've dealt with all year. And we're going to continue to deal with. Not only that, but my insurance company decided to up their insurance like they do, like they like to do every single year. And my company I work for decides to put it on me. So now I actually make less than I made last year, dealing with all this inflation. Now this is why people don't want to work. At the same time, they don't know how to manage things. They don't know how to manage people. They don't know how to manage these people. I worked at a lot of different places the last 5 years, and what I've noticed is most managers and most managers are incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. They make all this money and they don't know how to connect with their employees at all. They run the place like dog shit. The turnovers are horrendous. Why do people quit their job? 70% is because of their boss. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So even if I get paid more, honestly, even if I get paid more, they'll just tax me more. The government, so I'm like screwed either way. I would rather just prefer whatever company I work for to pay for all my insurance, not to pay for nothing at all. Pay for the whole thing. I got these deductibles and I gotta pay like $300 a month and shit. It's so stupid. Then I gotta pay co-pays. I should have to pay for nothing. If I'm paying $300 a month for insurance and I don't use it hardly at all, I should have to pay for shit. I would rather them pay me like $12 an hour or like $8 an hour and pay for all my insurance. That way I can be a parasite and get welfare. I'm sorry. That's how these companies work, because they're putting so much stress on the regular person. They're putting so much stress on us. So much financial stress. And then the people running the country don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're destroying it. It's got to be incompetence and on purpose, from what I see. You know, all that crap, all that fear I had to deal with in 2020, and then 2021, and then now and then last year, now this financial crap is like, I got to worry about layoffs, and then there's no jobs now, and it's like, dude, I'm so tired of it. I'm so over the fear. I'm at the point where I've been frugal in my life. I've been minimalistic, and take it all. Take it. I don't want anything anymore. Take it all. I'm just like fed up with like working my ass off, because I worked my ass off the last 25 years. Trying to raise a family, trying to provide for my family, and then having a fucking a dumb government lower my quality of life when I'm just, dude, I'm not on welfare. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm not getting into trouble. I'm not doing shit. I'm trying to like make good investments. I think that'll be good for me. And all life does is take. It just takes from me. And I'm just tired of it. That's all it doesn't matter how hard I work, it'll be taken anyway. There's no getting ahead. Like, I'm at the point where it's like, dude, I'm just gonna go bankrupt, man. I don't want to. I don't want to get food stamps and be a leech off the system. But everybody else is. I don't care about Ukraine. I don't care about them. Now, the regular citizens, I feel bad for those people. But it's not my problem. It's not our problem. We have our own problems to deal with. We got dilapidated cities that are ran by Democrats. And I hate the whole right versus left thing, man, because it's not even a right versus left. But the problem with these people on the left is I can't have any type of conversation. I don't even want to have a debate with these people, because they will defend their people to the bitter end. You can think of the most heinous thing that one of their people could have done, and they will defend them. I can't try to have a conversation with somebody like that. I'll be critical of the people that I like and leaders. I'm critical of Trump. I'm critical of Marjorie Taylor Greene voting in McCarthy and not going against the establishment, going for the establishment. And like Lauren Boebert was awesome, and Matt Gaetz, those type of people were doing good by getting holding, having some constraints on the establishment of McCarthy. He's a rhino. I'm tired of being oppressed, man. Because you got these idiot communists that are like, oh, communism is so great. It's never been really introduced properly. Like, if you try to introduce it into America, it's not going to be introduced properly. We're going to have the same result here. And then they're like, I say something like, North Korea is communist. They're like, no, it's a dictatorship. When you look at communism and the history of communism, what happens? What happens? It turns into a dictatorship. Every single case. You got a democracy, who you have the people voting for free stuff for themselves, which turn into socialism, which turns into communism, which turns into dictatorship. And it's like they don't look at that. They come up with all this stupid crap that doesn't make any sense. I will evolve my opinion if somebody comes with some logical reason. But people don't have any logical reason on the left. They're highly arrogant. And you know what? I feel like I don't relate to anybody, okay? Ideology, like politically and economically, I lean towards the right. When it comes to lifestyle and like open-mindedness and being spiritual instead of religious, like fasting and stuff like that, I lean toward the left. So I'm a little bit of both. I guess I'm a classical, if you want to label me, I probably am a classical liberal. That's what I would be. I'm for freedom. I don't feel free, man. I don't feel free at all. It seems like the system is coming crashing down on us. And most people just don't care. They don't care. It's like, what do you do? I'm trying to just like, okay, since I'm probably going to die anyway, I'm not going to survive what's coming. I might as well just try to enjoy the little bit I can. Like our government, if I was to spend my money how the government spends their money, I would have been bankrupt years ago. They would have bankrupt. I would have been bankrupt like 10 years ago, man. Like, you got the government who will not stop spending money. Who will not stop. They haven't stopped at all. What is our debt? Probably like 33 trillion now. What was it before the pandemic? I don't know. 18, 20 trillion? So in 2 years, we just added like over $10 trillion, probably $13 trillion, 12, whatever, something in there, to our national debt. They won't get people off of welfare. They won't try to wean people off of welfare. They just keep giving more. That's just our national debt, man. Our unfunded liabilities are like 170 trillion. That's like Social Security and all that, all the Medicaid and all that crap. Well, we owe people. Man, I'm not an economic expert. I might have a general knowledge. There's people way smarter than me that can explain this stuff way better. But I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling the pressure on me. And it's just like, dude, what's the point of working, man? What is the point? What is the point of doing the right thing when I keep getting my quality of life stolen from me? And there's nothing I can do about it. I've been trying to avoid politics because all politics does when I was following it daily is it totally depresses you. It totally demoralizes you. And then the next day it might lift you a little bit. Oh, okay, lift you. Okay, things might be okay. And then the next day it's just constant. And I got tired of that crap. And I'm trying to get things corrected in my life. I'm trying to, get more healthy, try to eat better, try to work out more. Try to understand myself better. And I'm just a slave, man. I'm just a slave. I'm an economic slave. That's where my name comes from. Oh, you're a white guy. You didn't go through slavery. Yeah, neither did you. But what my name comes from, enslaved ones, is an economic slavery that we are going through. And I don't mind working, man. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But what are we doing? Where are we going to go? We're going to go to another war. That's what's going to happen. We're going to go to another war. They won't stop with the fucking wars, man. They will not stop. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of the conspiracy theories, like, kind of being like, here's some evidence, like, yeah. I'm tired of the media not reporting on things that doesn't benefit their side. Why don't they do that? Why don't they? Because they're in the same group. Like, they're in with the Democrats who are sellouts, the establishment. They're in with the establishment, the corporate. It's like communism is bad. It's never worked. It's never worked. And they've tried it. They've done it in North Korea. They've done it in Venezuela. All it does is cause fucking famine every time. Every time. Every time. And how are they going to bring it in the right way? You know what's going to happen when you bring in communism? Technical and cultural stagnation. That's what happens. Because if I'm a janitor, if I'm a rocket scientist and there's a janitor and we make the same amount of value and I'm doing something way more stressful than they are, why am I going to work as hard? Why am I going to work as hard if I'm not getting compensated for anything? But it's like, we got these capitalistic corporate entities, like conglomerate entities, that are basically monopolies, that it's like a form of communism. And that's what's going on. Capitalism, I think, will flourish if you got a lot of small businesses. When these corporations need to be banned outright. Corporations are the worst thing. These brands, all this crap. Because if this whole too big to fail, like they did in 2008 with the banks, and they bailed them out. If you have one entity that's run like shit because they put people in there based off of how they look and not the merit they deserve to be in that job, And you have these companies that are gonna fucking fail when they don't have to, because they want to try to appease one little tiny, like, sliver of the population. That one sliver of the population is above fucking everybody for whatever reason. And they push that shit. But these people, you bring in people that are not qualified to do a job, and they fuck it up. And you wonder why, if everything was like small companies, small businesses, and somebody did that with their business and they fail, there'll be another business that is competing with them that can still produce things for everybody. And we won't just be fucked. Like if somebody like an Amazon fails, right? A lot of people are starting to rely on that. Like, malls are going out of business. You're seeing a lot of small business go out of business. You're seeing a lot of people doing Amazon, and I like the whole thing. But if we had like a decentralized type of company where you didn't have one giant monopoly over everything, and if they don't run their business correctly and don't put the proper people in the positions to be successful, and the business starts to like fail, when you have people that rely on that business, they're fucked now. So the things that we got going on right now is a form of communism. It's not outright communism, because communism is government, but it's like this is very similar. And most people don't see it. And you got people on the right who I agree with a lot of their politics and their economics, but they're like defending their masters. They're defending these people. Like, you got people on the right that are so fucking dumb that they're like, oh, they defend their masters to the bitter end. And then they like, when if you're for fucking full capitalism, capitalism has no, like, monopolies will exist, okay? Because you just keep on gathering resources. I'll gather this company and that company. Unregulated capitalism has no problem with slavery. It has no problem. That's not a healthy form of capitalism. A healthy form of capitalism is when there's competition with everybody. But taking somebody else's things is a form of capitalism. Like, capitalizing on somebody else's misfortune. So their company's doing like shit. Well, the value went down. I'm buying that. That's capitalism. And then you end up having a monopoly. That's why you need regulations when it comes to monopolies. Monopolies shouldn't exist. But they've let it go on. They've let it go on. You know, this whole you own nothing and you'll be happy. Listen, man. I can live like that. I don't care about owning shit. I really don't. I really don't give a fuck, man. It doesn't bother me. I really haven't owned shit my whole life. But the problem is somebody like me will respect what I have. If I have a leased car, if I'm renting a house, I'll do enough to maintain the car. I'll do the oil changes and shit. Whatever the fucking brakes or whatever. Or, like, you know, whatever it takes to maintain the house, I'll fucking mow the lawn and shit. You know what I'm talking about. I'll do enough to maintain it. I'm not going to go above and beyond. I'm not going to go put a fucking a turbo in my engine or something like that. Or I'm not gonna sit here and put 10 on my windows if I'm leasing a car. I'm not gonna go and like remodel a kitchen if I'm renting a place. But the average person, they need to have ownership, because the average person, they care more about stuff when they own it. They respect the stuff more. Now you can see certain parts of our urban areas in our major cities that are dilapidated, and people who reside in those areas pretty much don't own any of those areas. I've lived in Section 8 before. I know. People don't give a shit. People don't care. They'll leave trash out. They don't fucking care, man. So the average person needs to have some type of ownership, so it gives them some type of incentive to want to make it better, or at least maintain it. Because people are lazy, man. People always want to take the easiest path possible. That's human nature, to take the easiest path possible. So when you have a big group of people who don't own shit, they're not going to take care of it, man. They're just not going to take care of it. I'm not saying everybody. There might be some people out there that have the same type of mindset that I do, who want to be who want to live in a decent area, and who are civilized, who actually have morals and want to respect their tools or things that they're using, or people around them. But there's a lot of people that don't. Especially in this American society, people got this mindset where respect is earned, not given. Dude, I always give respect to everybody unless they show me that they don't deserve respect. Now, trust is different, but respect should be given, man. It's called being a civil human being. Treat people how you want to be treated. It's like, I'm so tired of hearing about people living in the past, man. Like, people are like bringing up shit from like centuries ago. And it's like, we don't live back then. You didn't live back then. Can we move forward now? Can we move forward as a human race? Can we please just like get over our differences and move forward? And stop like, it's like so dumb, man. It's so dumb. Like, I don't care how somebody looks. I don't care. I judge them on their actions, man. I mean, I'm talking about like their natural form. Now, if somebody puts big hoops in their ears and they dye their hair like a weird color, I'm probably going to think they're communists. Like, yeah, probably going to think they're communists. And that makes me hypocritical. Yeah, we're all hypocritical to some point, man. We all are. Nobody's perfect. And that's the thing, is like, the politicians, the political landscape is like, everybody's holding their side up like they're perfect, like they don't make any mistakes. Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of my favorite politicians, but I'm gonna call her out when she's siding with the establishment. And I understand her logic. I get it. But what I see is she's not the rebel I thought she was. You know, in our society, it's all about conforming. That's what it's about, conforming. If you don't conform, you're going to be left behind. And this is why I've been left behind a lot in my life, because I refuse to conform. When I go to work, I could be a supervisor. Are you kidding me? I know how to deal with people. I learned that whatever I'm learning at work, and once I get it down, I might seem stupid at first because, I don't like to try to reinvent the wheel, and I don't really, I like to see things. I learn things by seeing things done, not by somebody telling me. That's how I learn things. I'm very visual. But I don't conform at work. There's always a tension between me and management because I don't conform to them. And that's part of the reason why I'm single. I refuse to conform. I'm my own man. I might be a leader with nobody following, but I am a fucking leader. At least I'm not following what everybody else is doing. I'm not going to conform, man. I refuse to conform. Especially now. My kids are almost raised. My responsibility is almost done. I'm going to stop conforming even more. They're putting people in such a bad position. They don't try to tell people what's going on. They don't tell people, listen, man, we might have more pandemics. How about you start trying to eat better? How about you start trying to work on your weight loss and get healthy so you don't use up the hospital resources? The number 1 and 2 deaths in America are heart disease and cancer. Those are the 1 and 2. Now they take over 1 million people combined a year, Americans. But they don't come out and say, we need to eat better. We need to do better. We need to exercise. They don't do that. They're just like, take that. Take that. What? Because they want us to keep consuming shit. So we keep paying taxes. But then they tell us climate change. What? Well, if it's as bad as they're saying it is, shouldn't we want to minimalize things? No, but that's not how they live. And that's why I don't trust those people. If they really cared about the earth like they say they do, the leaders or whoever talk about climate change. I'm not saying it. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But I spot out scams. I can spot scams a mile away. And I know when somebody's telling me to do something and they're not doing it themselves, it's like, fuck you. You're telling me that I got to worry about climate change, that we're going to have to ban gas stoves. So dumb. Because they have a little skirmish with fucking Russia that they started, and they won't just all right, just back the fuck off. They won't drill. We won't be energy independent. It won't be none of that shit. These people are still buying properties on the coastlines, on the ocean lines. And they're huge properties. It's not like they're being minimalistic like Elon, where he sold his mansions and he sold all of his lavish shit. And he got rid of his possessions. It's not like they're doing that. They still have their huge mansions. They're still flying around the world. When they can make a video or make a Zoom call, they don't have to be there in person, but they have to be there in person. But they talk about climate change. Dude, I'm just tired of these people, man. I'm tired of them. I don't need to have all like straight proof of like corruption. I get to see by their actions. I don't need to explain myself. I don't care. I just don't get it, man. We're always at war. We're always spending money. We're doing nothing for our own country. We're doing nothing to help out our countries in our own continent. We're worried about other countries on different continents because we were allies in World War II. Fucking cares, man. Israel, worry about yourself. Quit asking for money. Quit giving Israel money. Oh, people on my side. Can't say that. We gotta defend Jerusalem. I don't fucking live in Jerusalem. America isn't in Jerusalem. I don't care about Israel. I don't care about North Korea and South Korea. If they want our help, they can pay us. Why are we just paying and paying? And then like the total hypocrisy, the total double standards. When you got Trump, they say, well, he had classified information. Was he in prison? Is he in jail? No, he's not in fucking jail. They raided his shit. He's not in jail. Well, Joe Biden, who was vice president, took classified documents, which is illegal. Anything happened to him? No. Oh, you got Nancy Pelosi and her husband doing insider trading. I'm sorry, but when you have information when the government's going to invest in a certain corporation to make things for the government, you got knowledge of that, and you tell your like they don't talk, and your partner invests in that company before the investment goes from the government, and then that stock goes up, like Microsoft, and then when it goes up, you sell, make all that fucking money. That's not insider trading. There's no investigation. And that's not just people on the left, that's people on the right does that shit too. It's all about their fucking pockets, man. They don't do nothing for the regular American person. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Fuck the federal government, dude. Leave it up to the states. We can take care of our fucking selves, man. Fuck the federal government. I've had about enough of them. They rob me of Social Security, which I'm never going to be able to have. They're not going to have any money to give to me. Because the next group of people, there's less people to pay the welfare. So I'm not getting Social Security. I've been paying in this shit my whole fucking life, and I'm not going to get anything for it. Which is fine, whatever. I don't fucking care. Just quit taking it out now. Quit taking it out. These fucking federal taxes. Fuck your federal taxes, man. They need to get rid of the IRS. Fucking get rid of it. Get rid of the fucking Federal Reserve. All that shit. All of it. It needs to go. There's no reason why we can't have our own damn currency without having a foreign fucking bank dictating shit. Influencing shit. Did Kanye die, by the way? Where the hell is he? That's it, man.